Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashley Balia, and welcome to the CloudSwyft online training on data analysis using Microsoft Excel. Today, we will be hearing from our Microsoft certified trainer and MVP, Argelo Royce Bautista, as he shares his knowledge on the basics of data analytics. In this training session, each of us will be experiencing firsthand how to go about using Microsoft Excel through a series of exercises using CloudSwift's hands-on lab. During the training session, you may have some questions you would want Argelo to answer. Feel free to send them through the Q&A section marked with the question mark at the chat button in the upper right-hand corner of your screens. Don't forget to enter your name, same as the image shown now at the right side of this slide. We will start exactly at 10 a.m., so feel free and prepare for your training. We are about to start our training in data analysis primer using Microsoft Excel. So please welcome our Microsoft certified trainer and MVP, Argelo Royce Bautista.
Today we are going to discuss more about data. Let's start with our story for today. So on a daily basis, we make decisions, and we do this unconsciously. But on an organizational level, the day-to-day decision is made usually by the junior management or your supervisor whenever that there's a customer trying to dispute their orders. So this decision is not just any decision, a yes or no decision. You need to think about it. You need to validate that this is indeed a a valid a valid a valid a valid dispute. No? So you need to use a reference. You need to look at the order transaction. What is the issue, and validate it against the physical. So that's for the junior management. For the middle management, or maybe a department manager, somewhere in between the top management and the junior management, the decisions are made on a tactical level. So, example, we are trying to project how much inventory we need to withdraw from our warehouse and into our store. No? Especially in the food industry, you can't just withdraw a lot of inventory from the warehouse. You need to make sure that you are going to get the right amount of inventory so that you will not have spoiled food. Now, on a top level management or the senior management, the decisions are made in a strategic manner. So what do we mean by strategic? It's like, are we going to release this product, or what is the next product that we are going to release? Where are we going to create our next store? Where are we going to open our next store, and what's next for our company? So as you can see, these management decisions varies first in the impact that they're doing. So if a junior management made a mistake on a customer dispute, you are only affecting one customer. So um, if a middle management made an error, let's say the amount of inventory is not enough for the whole week, you will be affecting a store-wide customer for the whole week. But when a senior management make the mistake, you will find out that it can make or break the company. No? So I'm not going to delve in the famous mistakes of the history, but that is why junior management are paid. That is why senior management are paid a bit more compared to the middle management. So the decision that senior management are doing is, it's not child's play. You know? So you need to make sure that you're making the right decision. And how do we make sure that we're doing the right decision? You know? We use statistics. We use data, and that would be our problem statement. No? So that problem, to ensure that the decision is good, or the decision is correct, um, the data science and analytics field generated 2.7 million jobs on United States. So that's not there are more jobs generated in Asia, that's for sure. And 190,000 190,000 analysts will be a shortage of data analysts is projected. No? So 50% of the executives say that they struggle to find this data science and analytics talents. No? So they're willing to spend $200 billion for the data industry. And the average salary of a data scientist, so this is a guy who knows the advanced stuff in data, is about 120 US dollar, 120,000 US dollars per year. And only 1 in 10 organizations have all the IT skill needed to be successful in data science and analytics. So what are these skills? So you might have heard of Python, R, and SAS. So these are the advanced skills. So this requires a lot of programming, a lot of stuff to think about, and we also have the basic skills, which is a database query language, which also requires programming. Well, if it's not particularly for MySQL only, you can also use SQL Server or MariaDB, whatever database that you like. Just a language to get the data from the database. And you also have Excel. No? So Excel is a spreadsheet application. It's a Microsoft spreadsheet application which integrates with the other Microsoft tech stack. No? So today we are going to discuss more about Excel, since this is the most visual among all the five mentioned. So why would you be interested in learning Microsoft Excel? So if you're going to look at the Gartner Magic Quadrant, so Gartner is a company, is a research company that evaluates IT solutions provider. So these are the different IT solutions provider for analytics and business intelligence platform. So they're evaluated against their ability to execute or to deliver the solution and the completeness of vision, or the way they market their solution and they research what the industry needs. So the mere fact that the companies are in the leader quadrant means that they know what they're doing and they can deliver what they need to be delivering. On the other hand, you also have the niche player, which knows what they are doing on a specific set of customers, and they can also deliver the customer needs. So in this, from a decision maker perspective, if you're choosing a solution for your company, you may have a reason to choose the niche player or the leaders, challengers, or visionaries. But from a learner perspective, you might want to learn the technology that is on the leader quadrant. So why? This is because they are leaders for a reason. So more likely that they hold a big market share in the industry. So that means that the bigger the market share, the more companies that are using this technology, and the more companies that we are using technology, the more jobs are available to us. Okay? The easier that we can find a job. So the data analysis primer that we are going to discuss today is the Introduction to Data Analysis Using Excel, or DAT-05X. And I am your facilitator, Argelo Royce Bautista. So I'm a graduate of computer engineering from the University of the East. I have 8 years of industry experience. I'm a business systems analyst at Analog Devices, and those 2 years are spent. The first 2 years of my career is spent on development, and the latest and my latest 6 years of experience is about business intelligence and Microsoft Excel. So I'm a core member of technical communities like the Philippine Data Platform Forums and Programmers Developers. So this involvement in the technical community earned me the Microsoft Most Valuable Professional for Data Platform. So I'm also a certified trainer, and my specialty is business intelligence and data management and analytics. Okay. So what do we expect from today's what do we expect from today's courses? So we are going to learn how to create Excel tables. We are going to learn how to create pivot tables from Excel tables. And we're also going to learn how to create charts from pivot table. And we're going to learn how to create sustainable dashboard. So what does a sustainable dashboard look like? No? So here you have a dashboard and each graphs answers a particular business question. So as we go through the lecture, you're going to know what are those business questions. And you have here, you can see that you have data from 2011 up to the 2015. So what would happen if your boss comes to your office and says, oh, I will be having a meeting tomorrow morning. Could you please update the dashboard to the with the 2016 data? And it's already 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So uh, you have 2 hours to update everything. No? So what do you need to update? You need to compute all of these values. So that's 12 values for this pivot table. And then you need to update this chart. You need to update this bar chart. You need to update this line chart. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. So we want to update this dashboard. To do that, you need to extract the data, you need to validate the data, you need to compute the data, you need to recreate all of your formulas and filter it to produce these figures. No? So what we are proposing today is that you learn from the CloudSwyft learning platform how to do this. So you just copy the data from an extracted source and then paste it to your Excel and then go back to your dashboard. So you see 2015 here, you just go to the data tab and then click refresh, and Excel literally did majority of the heavy lifting for you. So you now have your 2016 data, all of the graphs are updated, all of the bar charts are there, you see the 2016 here, and so you're just sitting pretty in less than a minute. So that's what we want you to learn today. That's what's in store for you today when we say sustainable dashboards. Okay. So our agenda for today is the overview, the speaker introduction. So we already did that for the first 5 minutes and for the first 10 minutes. And we want to navigate the CloudSwyft learning platform. And then you have 15 minutes to watch the video. And while you're watching, I'll be checking the Q's and A's so that I can still answer the questions you have. And then after watching the video and doing the knowledge check, we are going to answer the laboratory check. Or you can also proceed to laboratory check if you want to. And then next is another 15 minutes for the module 2, and then answer to the lab check. And then answer, and then a module 3, which is basic pivot table. And then after that, for the interest of time, we are going to jump in straight and demonstrate the module 4, which is how to create a dashboard, and then the closing remarks. Okay, so I guess that's it for my presentation. So let's proceed with the with the um, with the CloudSwyft learning platform. So to access the CloudSwyft learning platform, you need to go to mdec mydigitalworkforceweek.cloudswyft.com, and you're going to see the screen. You need to sign in at the top right corner of the screen. So there's a sign in button there. You click it, and then you will be asked for your email and password. So email and password has already been sent to you by May and Ashley. So please check your email. So log in with your email and password and then sign in. So after that, you're going to see the introduction to data analysis using Excel. So you view the course, and you will see what you will see is the home page. So you need to go to the course tab to access the course. So you on the left, you have your left navigation pane. All of the modules are there. So we have 1, 2, 3, up to 8 modules. So if you already know much about Excel, you might want to go directly to the lab questions, to our digital labs, and perform the lab exercises, and proceed with the other modules. Nothing is stopping you from excelling in this course. No? So as for the rest, we are going to, you would want to check out everything here. So in each module, you have a lecture, and then this lecture contains a video and a transcript. So you're going to watch that for the next, you're going to watch that. I think the first one is 8 minutes. So you have plenty of time to digest everything and proceed with the knowledge check. So you have this optional further reading. So maybe after we're done for the day, you might want to check this one. But after watching the video, you go ahead and answer the knowledge check. So you have a question and this is graded. You have a limited amount of attempts to do to try to answer the question, and this should validate if you learned something from the video. But what differentiate this learning platform from the other learning platform is their hands-on learning laboratory. So you click on the CloudSwyft hands-on lab, and then you click the lunch session. So there will be a pop-up here, just click OK. It will automatically log you in the lab session. So what you're going to have here is a computer on the cloud. So you'll be able to access it's like starting a new PC. So um, so you would want to be a bit more patient when starting it for the first time. In my case, I've already started it earlier so that I can demonstrate to you the ins and outs of this laboratory exam. I mean of this virtual machine, virtual computer in the cloud. So after opening it, you will see this one, the desktop. If there's any pop-up, just close it. That's okay. And you have your lab files here as lab files, that shortcut, and you will see the lab files for the first 3 laboratory and the knowledge check for the laboratory 3. And you also have this flask icon. So click this flask icon and you will see that there is what you will see here is the instructions for the laboratory, for the usage of the laboratory. So do not shut down the the machine from within the virtual machine. It will automatically shut down once you close the browser. That's okay. And this here is the scenario. So you have your you will have the background for a company, and in here you are a what is this? I think you're a marketing manager of a bicycle company, and you have Lucy as your boss. So you would want to introduce Lucy to your product portfolio since 2011. And then you have your trusty IT manager, which is Jack, and it gives you he gives you the first sets of data. And then after learning that Lucy wants more questions to be answered, Jack just gave you a whole data set. So I think that's about 100,000 rows. I think so. Just let me validate. Yes, it's about 100,000 rows, so that you can filter the data. So yes, so CloudSwyft is an education technology edutech partner of Microsoft. CloudSwyft offers a platform that enables students to learn technology course content online and practice hands-on lab in a browser-based virtual environment. So as you can see, we have a computer in our browser. No installation, no setup needed. Everything that you need is already there. All you need to do is sit back, relax, and learn. Okay, so I guess that's it for our introduction. Please go on and proceed with lecture 1. We would have 15 minutes for that.
So far, is everyone able to access the video, the learning platform? Yeah, yeah. As you may know, it's quite quiet here on my side, so please give feedback so that we may know if you have problems and we can help you. Okay, it seems that everybody is all right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking time in your doing your knowledge check. So, okay, it logged me out. Let me log in again. So now we're going to answer the knowledge checks. Okay, so let us discuss this. What we are saying is that we want to display a trend for each product by year. So what did you do? Modify, you have to change the chart to a pie chart. No, you're not going to see any kind of trend there. To see a trend, you must need to put the year on the x-axis so that you will see the trend going down, up, down. Okay, so you would this can be done also, but it requires a lot of effort. No? So this one also, no? Create a summary for each year and insert a new column chart. It will also require a lot of effort. The least effort required to achieve this trend product by year is to modify the chart to have product categories as legend and years as horizontal axis. So let us, okay, just a minute. Let me check here. So I guess this is the one that they're referring to, right? So let's create a chart for this, insert, and then recommended chart. I think the recommended chart is already a trend, so we wouldn't want that. We want a chart that shows us this one. Okay, so let me okay, so this is our this is the not so good chart. No? So we want to see the years by trend. So we just need to we want to see the years in the x-axis. So one of the easiest way to do that, instead of transposing the table or creating a new table, is clicking this switch row column. This can be seen under the chart design. The chart design can only be seen once that you click the chart, and then you will see there switch row column. So click it and you now have your trend. So when we say trend, you can see that in 2011, 2012, these are the sales, and then when there are two product categories added, there you have more sales. Okay, so and the sales keeps rising up or falling down. So that is what we call a trend. So next is you have collected the following data considering a pie chart to display it. What problem is likely you're going to encounter by using a pie chart? So you have countries and then you have years. If you're going to look at this, so uh, let us assume that these are the the product category. Let's try to replicate this scenario in our knowledge check. So let's say that you have your product categories here and you have your years. So what will happen if we try to insert a pie chart? So as you can see, what you're going to see is actually a total of everything, a total of all the years, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is 3 to, yes, it's the total of everything. So in this case, the pie chart will only show 1 year worth of data. Okay. So next is question number 3. You have collected the following data and want to use a chart to display it. What chart should you use to display it? Okay, so this is a vague question. So what chart would you use to display it? When you want to know what kind of chart, you ask your boss what kind of chart they want. So it's better that you try your best to be user centric. Give what your client wants. So if there is such a time that your boss say, it's up to you what kind of chart you want to give me. So you have recommended charts. So you just select a piece of data and then you go ahead to recommended charts, and then you have everything there. You are free to choose what kind of chart you want, and it also shows a brief description of the charts that you're going to use. So you can also manually check for the charts here. So let's do this, and here. So you have different charts. You have a different line chart, and if you're going to hover them and let the tooltip appear, it will show a brief description of the chart. So in that case, that should help you answer what charts should you use to display it. So in this case, since this is a country and you have years, so our best guess is that the boss wants to see a yearly trend of the sales per country. So we're going to use a line chart. Though you can also use a bar chart, but what illustrates a trend better is a line chart because it has the continuity. So let's do that again. And for example, you want to see a line chart. So you can see that it is continuously rising, as opposed to a bar chart or a stack bar chart. Although you can still see that it's continuously rising, but not as connected as the line chart. So next is you're asked to display the percentage of sales by category for each year in the column chart. So which one are you going to use? So when we speak of percentages, it is always, when we speak of percent composition, it is always adds up to 100%. And the best chart to use for that is the 100% stacked bar chart. So let's try doing this. Okay, it's already here, but this is not a 100% stack bar chart. This is just a simple stack bar chart. So under here, 100% stack bar chart. So you are now seeing the composition per product category across all years. So you're seeing that first, you're 100% selling bikes. Now, bikes are a majority of the composition, but you also have your other products here, which is the blue one is accessories, and then the gray one is clothing. Okay, so that's it for the knowledge check. Let me check something else before we proceed. Okay, so after the download, you will see save your work before continuing, because when you click continue, Excel is going to close Microsoft Office is going to close Excel and apply the Office update. So after that is updated, you can now proceed to your laboratory. Well, it's relatively fast. So just accept the license agreement. It should be okay. And after you see this, click close. You have the luxury of having the instruction by your side. So once the first thing that the laboratory is asking you to do is to create a solution that's something like this. So how do we do this? First thing you have to do is to present the graph. You do this by creating charts for 3 groups of data you see from Jack. Give each chart a descriptive title as shown in the 3 charts below. Your first solution should look like this. The numbers might not be the same. So once you create a chart, for the yearly revenue chart, display the total revenue in each year as a separate line. Okay, let us run through it. Okay, where is it? Go back to our lab check, and so yearly category revenue. So in this line chart, you have your legends as the product category, and you have your years as your x-axis. So select everything and insert recommended charts. And you can see that the first recommended chart is exactly the chart that we need. So just go there, and then yearly category revenue. So to edit the title, you click on the chart and then click on the chart title and click once more on the chart title so that you can edit it. Select all and key in your title. Yearly category revenue. Okay? So now you have your yearly category revenue line chart. I think nothing more is asked. So don't worry about the y-axis. The value might be different, like what the instruction have said. So next is revenue by category. So this is the one. So select everything and then let's try recommended chart again. So at this time, the recommended chart does not give what we need. So it's up to you whether you want to compare it side by side or you want to see the the pie chart or the composition. So you have here, it is titled as revenue. So we want it, oops, Control Z. Okay. So we want it here and revenue by category. So double click the title again and then revenue by, type in. So next is the revenue by country. So this is another bar chart, a horizontal bar chart, and it's by country. So select everything, insert, recommended charts, and then you have a vertical bar chart. You have this nice map chart, but even though it's very nice, we would want a horizontal bar chart. So let's stick with what is being asked of us. So let's put it here. And then I think one of the requirements is to put the axis on top. So to put the axis, you are going to modify the axis location. You need to select the chart, and usually the format chart area appears. Sometimes I accidentally click that. If you can't see the format chart area, you right-click the chart, and then you will see the format chart area at the third from the bottom option. Okay, so you can either select the horizontal axis, or you can just click the axis on your chart. So it's easy. It's easier to click the axis on the chart so that it is more visual. Okay. So I think what you need to modify is the axis option, and then under the axis option, you should have this. Okay, no, not this. It would be the labels. So you need to change the label position. So the label position is under the labels. So you can click right next to axis, low, high, or whatever you want. So in our particular requirement, you need to put it on the high. Okay. We still need to proceed with this one. So for the yearly category revenue, display the total revenue for each year as a separate line. So in this one, you are given a step-by-step instruction. So create a total revenue line in B7 to BH by summing the actual revenue. So how do we do that? You can manually compute it, or you can use Excel formula. To initiate an Excel formula, you start with equal and then enter your formula name. You don't need to memorize it. You just go ahead and find a good Excel reference in the internet. And then after the first parenthesis, you could use your arrow keys to choose which ranges, or you can use your mouse to choose which ranges you want to sum. Okay. It's just that my mouse is acting up, but there. So after you have selected your range, you are going to put the closing parenthesis and then press enter. So you now summed the total. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm putting it on the wrong column. I'm sorry. So we put it here. Okay. So again, sum, and then select the ranges that you want to sum, and then you're going to use that, and you're going to copy and paste the formula. So you can do that either by copying and pasting it or dragging the formula to the other until here. So in this case, you have your total. Next is select the yearly category revenue chart, and then the data source or the chart is highlighted. So when you select the chart, the data source is highlighted, and you just need to, you see this little square on the corners, click it and drag it down, and you will have it updated already. Okay, so that's now you have your that's how you add a new series on your uh, on your chart. Okay, so what does the yearly sales look like? So it looks like the trend in your bikes. Of course, that's normal. That's expected. We've already seen the stack bar chart, and we saw that majority of the sales is contributed by bikes. So it follows that the total sales should follow the bikes revenue. Okay? So for the revenue category, you are going to add the percentage on your pie chart. So to easily do that, you click the chart and then you see this plus button, you click it, and then you check the data labels. Okay, so the data labels, the preview on the data labels is the absolute label. So you would want to go here on the arrow and click more options, and then you will see that the format data label has changed. You would click the label option again, and under the label options, you remove the value and then you check the percentage. So that's how you put the percentage in your pie chart without doing additional calculations. Although you can also create a percentage and pie it by yourself, but that requires you that requires you to do additional computation. So the next is how many percent of the bikes? 72%. You can see it here, the orange one, 72%. And for the revenue by country, select data source for the revenue by country chart and uh, sort the data by revenue from largest to smallest, and then select the revenue by country chart. And then select the y-axis. The axis should show the country name. Okay, so let's do that. This one. So we want to arrange the axis by highest to lowest. I think you have to do this here on your chart. So you select your data source and then sort and filter. Sort largest to smallest. The sort and filter is under the home tab, and then somewhere on the right side you have the editing group, and then the sort and filter drop down largest to smallest. Okay, so you have largest to smallest on your data source, but on your chart it's the other way around. So you might want to click the y-axis and go to the axis option, and then you will find here in the axis options, the last option is the categories in reverse order. So it should reverse it should show your values on the other way around. It should sort your values on the other way around. Okay, so now you can easily answer this one. So arrange it from highest to lowest. So United States, you click the United States and drag it on the zone 1, and then the next is Australia. So zone 2, and United Kingdom, zone 3, and next is Germany. So go to zone 4, and then France, go to zone 5, and then Canada, go to zone 6. So it should that should finish your laboratory work. So you may now proceed to the lecture number 2. Okay, so while you're doing lecture number 2, let me recreate what I've done here. Okay, so the laboratory session requires you to upload a screenshot of your answer. So just print screen what you are seeing in your browser, and then paste it on a paint. Wait, where is it? Okay, this one. So paste it on the paint and then save it as a PNG. It should be okay. Let me go to desktop, and so this is lab1.png. Close this one and click the upload answer screenshot and navigate to the folder. Okay, just a minute. Let me edit this in Paint again. I think it's selected. It selected my other screen. Just a minute. Okay. Save. There. And upload. And then after uploading the screenshot, okay, you may now contact your instructor for the results. Okay, so the instructor will be checking if you did it correctly. But in this case, I don't think I would be checking it. Maybe there are other people. I'm not sure about who is going to check your your answers. Still not showing. Okay. So we're going to resume the discussion on 11:15 for the Excel tables. Okay, so I'm assuming that you've already done your lectures and that you have performed also the knowledge check. So let us look at the knowledge check. So download the sales scores for quiz table. So what is the difference between a table and the range in Excel? So how would we know that? So a range is a piece of, so you have a worksheet which is, and the whole everything that you see here, and a piece of worksheet is what we call a range, so it could be anywhere. So a piece of table or an Excel table is a structured object in the Excel, so let's say profit. So let's say we're going to create a new column, what we call profit, and we want to compute the profit, and we want to compute the profit by revenue minus the cost. So if you're going to create that formula, you will see that it will, instead of the usual absolute references, you're actually getting a column reference. No? So you have the name of the column, and the formula is now readable. So the profit is equal to revenue minus the cost. And once that you press enter, the formula is not just committed to a single cell, it is committed to the whole table column until the end of the table. So the you don't have the formula stops at where the table stops. Now, what is the other notable feature of our Excel table? So let me resize this for a moment so that you can see. So you have here our profit. Well, as you can see the difference, when you click the range, you will see the normal column A to O. But when you click a cell inside the table, you will see the column names. So it's like a freeze pane. And another difference is that when you paste new data right below the Excel table, the table automatically expands, and it also expands the formula that you have entered on your profit column. So it's automatic. No? So it's some sort of, this is the entry level automation for Excel users like you and me. And yeah, I've been this have been my bread and butter for the past 6 years. Usually my formula gets too complicated that I just paste a lot of data and then take a coffee break. After that, everything is done. So it works like magic, but it doesn't work like that at start. You have to set up your formulas. And another thing, so let me do this sample. This is one of the best. Sorry, this is one of the best samples that we can do. So once that you delete this Excel table once that you delete the Excel table values in a special way by selecting the all of the rows, or the all of the rows for the first column or any column, and then you right click that, and then you point to delete, and then table rows, no? You will see that it is gone. So the next time, however, the next time that you paste your data, what seemingly is gone is now returned. So any computed columns is committed, even though that you have deleted the table rows. You'll just have to delete it in a special way, because if you delete it normally, like select all of the cells and then you just click delete, the next time you try to paste this, the formula is not gone. So it is something that takes getting used to. No? So sometimes it's already a muscle memory on my on my fingers right now. So there's a right click button in my keyboard, and I press that, and then D and R. So that's three fingers working. That's three fingers working to produce a 1 second, an almost 1 second reaction. So that's your that's your difference in the Excel tables. So all of these are valid answers except for this one, because you can convert a range back. You can convert a table back to a range. No? So you click the table and then you have the table design, and you have this convert to range. No? So once that you convert it back to a normal range, the references are back to normal. The auto expand is back to normal also. So it's disabled. Okay. So the next is if you filter a table to show only United Kingdom, what will be calculated in the totals row? So in the video, you were asked to click the totals row so that the total is displayed. Now you can have more totals if you want to. So revenue, that one. And you want to filter it by the United Kingdom. So let's filter it by United Kingdom and see what we'll have. So as you can see, the total rows is showing the total that is visible to you. So the filters are applied in the total row. So the totals will recalculate according to the filtered row. And then the rest are, what is this? The rest are questions pertaining to data analysis. So you need to filter your table. What is this? You're only interested in data for the mail customers in France. After setting the appropriate filters, answer the following question. How many rows are displayed? Total revenue is displayed for rows. So you are being asked to filter the uh, the uh, the tables. I'm sorry for that. You're being asked to filter the table and then perform calculations. So this is already self-explanatory. I'm not going to deep dive in. Now let's move on to the lab check. So for the interest of time, I've already downloaded the lab 2 start and have it here. So let me close this one. The quiz, we're already done with the quiz, so we're going to proceed with the lab 2. Okay? So enable editing. So the first thing that they want us to do is to convert the data into an Excel table. So as you have seen in the video, what you need to do is to select all of your data, Control A, including the headers, and then insert table or Control T, the shortcut for insert table. No? So make sure that my table has headers checked because you have the headers there, the column names, and then click OK. Now you have this you now have this nice Excel table. So the next is once you do that, add the total row, filter the data, and then the total will reflect only the filter data. Let's try this. So we've already tried that. So you go back to table design, total row, and then you want to filter by United States. So country, and then United States. Earlier we did it for the United Kingdom, and then you want the total revenue. So this should be the answer. Okay. And then next is you're being asked to insert a new column left of the column customer ID column. So where is the customer ID column? Here, this one. So you can still insert traditionally. Just go to the top and then right click the column name, then insert. It will automatically be converted into a table column, and then let's say month. So this exercise requires you to use the text function. So I'm just go ahead and spoil it to you. So you're going to feed it. You're going to feed the text function with the date and then the format text. So you might want to refer to the list of formatting that Excel can do. In this case, the 4Ms denotes that you are going to show me the whole month name. If I remove 1M for that, you will see that this is an abbreviated, a shortened month name. So if we make it capital, okay, it doesn't do anything. Sorry about that. So just that. And you're going to filter it again by the month of December, and the totals will reflect the filtered data. So I'm just going to skip that because it's the analytics part. You can already do that yourself. So this one, add an age group to the customer left of the customer gender. So where's this customer gender, customer age, and we want to have an age group. So there are multiple approaches in doing this, no? Sa age group. So what I'm going to teach you right now is an approach that was not discussed in the video. So let's say that you have an age threshold and then group. So you have an age threshold of 0, and then you have this youth, and then 25 for the young adult, and then I think what was being said is that 35 for the adults, 35 adults. So I'm still a young adult, and seniors, 65. Okay, so you have the start of the age group, so that is from 0 to 25. No, so this means that the start of the age threshold is 0, and then the end of the age threshold is 24, since it still belongs in the youth. No? The next start is 25, which goes to the young adult. Okay, so this utilizes a function called VLOOKUP, and then you're going to find this customer age in this. Okay, okay, let me turn this first into a table. Now, again, VLOOKUP, and then we're going to look up the age in this table. So you click the age threshold and then the group, and then the column. We want to show them the group, right? And then you're now given a what is this? Two options for the what kind of match are you doing? The exact match, which is used very much across the industry, and then this approximate match. So this approximate match allows you to choose the closest value. What Excel does is that it compares the first value. Is it greater? What is that? I'm sorry. Teka lang. Is the customer age greater than 0? Okay, then temporarily tag it as youth. So is the customer age greater than 25? And if it's greater than 25, it will change the tagging from youth to young adult, but it is not. It will retain the tagging as youth. So in this case, since this is 19, it retained the tagging as youth. So let us simulate for the 49. So is 49 greater than 0? Yes, so tag it as youth. So is 49 greater than 25? Okay, tag it as young adult. Is 49 greater than 35? Okay, tag it as adult. So is 49 still greater than 65? Of course, it is not greater than 65. So Excel is not going to tag it as senior, and it's going to retain the tag as adult. So that's what is happening when you use this formula. So you feed the VLOOKUP the value that you're going to compare, and then it keeps on comparing until it reaches the approximate match. Okay, so this formula is shorter and easier to extend as compared to the ones that is demonstrated in the video. You have a long if-else statement. So if ever, let's say, let's give it an oxymoron, young seniors. So you have 55. Okay, so you will find out once that you have entered this one, the moment you've entered this one, the formula will automatically update, and the age group will now contain this new group that you have entered, young seniors. No? So in comparison to the approach that was taught in the video, you need to edit your formula, and it's quite a long and arduous task. Anyway, so that's that for the age group, and moving forward. Okay, So you're going to filter again by the young adults group. And next is the frame size. So you want to get the last two characters from the product column when the product category is bikes. So this is already a business rule statement. No? So let's, what is that? Let's have it left of the order quantity. So let's have it here, and you say frame size. The column name is frame size. So the first condition is if the product category is equal to bikes, then do something else, leave it blank. Okay. So that first condition, I use this approach whenever I want to check first if I'm using the right conditions. If you're using the right conditions. So next is that what is exactly that we want to do. No? So we want to take the last two columns. So that is right, and then the last two characters, I'm sorry. Two. And that's the something that you want to do. No? So now you have the frame size, and well, it's good. That's how you navigate through an if else statement, especially when things gets complicated, because it's a bit dizzying, but the approach that I've taught you should make your life a bit easier, should make your translation life a bit easier. Okay, so next is profit column, revenue minus the cost. Okay, so let's have it profit, and then let's have revenue minus, sorry, I forgot the equals. So I can actually type in revenue minus profit. Okay, let's have this at profit, and there you have it. What happened? Just a minute. Sorry, it's not the profit, it's the cost. So Excel is telling me that you typed it wrong. No, you're referring to yourself. So there, now you have your profit, and then you can now answer the question number 5. Okay. So for the interest of time, I am going to proceed ahead with the demonstration of the lab check for the pivot table and then the dashboard. Okay, so for just a minute, let me download first the lab check for. Let me download first the lab check for lab 4. Okay, so now let's go to the questions of lab 3. So let's start by naming the Excel table and then sales table. Okay, let's open lab 3. I need to close lab 2. Forgot. So whenever that you're doing starting lab 2, make sure that you close first the first lab before opening another lab file, because we are dealing with lots and lots of data. We're dealing with lots and lots of data and lots of formulas. So it might strain. You might feel a slowdown on your computer. So this is, how much is this? 113,000 rows of data. Okay. So this is also a good reason why we would want to choose to use the lab environment, because the virtual machines or the computers that we are using in CloudSwyft, the virtual machines that are being provisioned in CloudSwyft, is designed to accommodate these kinds of workloads. Okay. So first, let's start naming the Excel table. So we are going to change the table name. So enable editing, and so that we will see the table design. So to change the name of your table, you go to the table design and then here. So name it with something that is a bit more descriptive, so that you would sales table, or I suggest that you no longer put the table since you're already naming it as you're already naming a table. So sales table is a bit redundant, you know. So next is that add your first pivot table. So to add a pivot table, just click any cells in the table and then go to insert and then click pivot table. So it will ask you where to put it. Let's put it on a new worksheet. Okay. So as you can see, the table range already uses your table name. So it is easier to identify as opposed to table 1 or the absolute reference that you have already get used to. So, okay. And then next is that you are arrange the layout so that the pivot table displays product category and subcategories in the row, year in the columns. So what they are saying is that you click the product category and then drag it to the rows. No? And then the subcategory, drag it to the rows again, and the year, drag it to the columns. And then the next is the values. So what are we trying to sum? Revenue. Okay. So you go down and then revenue, drag it to the values, and by default, it should be showing the sum of the revenue. You can change the computation by clicking the value field settings, and then you can find whatever computation that you want. You can have the count, which is on a per row basis, and then you can have the average. So I'm not going to answer this one. You can do that by yourself. Next is insert another pivot table on the same sheet. And this time you're going to use country and state in the row and years in the column. So as you can see, no, the year in the column and the revenue is the same. You're just going to change the rows. No? So the quickest way to do this is that to copy the whole pivot table and then paste it on another worksheet, and then remove the rows that you don't need and bring back the rows that you need. Okay, so there you have it, the country and state. Okay, and I think they are asking for the states in Germany. So I suggest that you minimize the countries that you don't need so that there will be a less numbers on your screen, or you can go ahead and click the drop down in your country, and then I'm sorry, you can go ahead and click the row labels filter. So you click first the column that you want to filter. In my case, I want to filter country, so I'm clicking Germany, and then under the drop down you can choose Germany as your filter. So this is dynamic. Once that you have selected a state, the filter will be based on a state. Okay, so in this case we want to filter by Germany, and then you filter by Germany. Less numbers, easier to answer. The less numbers you have, the easier you can answer the question. But most of the time the boss has a lot of questions, so better remove these filters so that you can easily answer every questions that the boss is asking. Okay, so next is another. This is another. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I forgot. We are being asked to display the highest revenue. So in this case, this is the grand total. You can arrange on a country level by clicking the value on the country and then right click the value, sort largest to smallest. So it arranged the countries from largest to smallest, but it didn't affect the states. No? So you need to click the value in the states again and then sort it. So you have largest to smallest by grand total. The next question asks you to sort by 2013. So you click again in the values under the 2013 and then sort largest to smallest. And as you can see, the grand total is the sorting for the grand total is different from the sorting in 2013. That's the main idea. And finally, what is this? Let's add another pivot table, and this time arrange the layout so that the pivot table displays the frame size in the rows and the revenue. So rows and frame size. So again, copy and paste, remove the columns that you don't need, and add the columns that you need. So it's frame size. Okay, there you have it. And you don't, I think you don't need the blank, right? Hide the rows that do not have a frame size, so blank frame size. So filter, remove the blanks, and there you have it, your frame sizes. So it's up to you. I think it also requires us to sort. So there you have it, the answer to your question number 4. And next is the age group. So let me copy and paste this again, remove the columns that you want, and then add the columns that you want. And there you have it, your age group, and then sort it again from largest to smallest, and you should have your uh, you should have the answer, seniors. Okay, so that's it for the basic pivot tables. The next is dashboard. Okay, so uh, I'm going to cut a lot of contents in our dashboard so that we could pave way to the question and answer, the question and answer portion on last 15 on the last 15 minutes. Okay, so what this says is that you need to create your chart elements, from the pivot table. So you click your pivot table and then insert. Any charts that you're going to insert will now be based on this pivot table. So let's create a pie chart so that is easier to understand. So as you can see, you have your uh, adults, and then young adults, and then youth, and then somewhere here, the smallest, the thinnest line is the seniors. Okay, so if I try to sort it smallest to largest, it will change the sorting. So any kind of changes you do with the pivot table, you do with the chart. So one of the good things that we can do with this pivot table is that you can actually have your Pareto. So let's have this. Let's have a copy of this pivot table, and then you have your sum, right? So the next is you to create a Pareto. You need to have a cumulative sum. So you can change that. You can change that by clicking the value field settings and then the show value as tab. No, so show value as no calculation. You will find that there are different calculations here. You would want to have a percent running total. So this is you have the normal running total if you need that, but for a Pareto you need the percentage of the running total. Yeah. So as you can see, it keeps on increasing, right? Oops, sorry, I've accidentally double clicked that. So the next is that you're going to insert, and you might want to have a recommended chart. No, no, it's not. It's not that good. You would want a combo chart. Okay, let me add this one. Okay, you want a combo chart, and here the second one. So the first one plots the two series in the same axis. The second one plots the first series in the first, takes use of the second axis. So you now have your line at the second axis. And I think what makes this Pareto looks more like a Pareto is that when you change this, the maximum, the major grid lines. Oh, sorry, I should be formatting the axis. So when you change the maximum value of this axis, you want to use the value in your grand total. So in this case, the maximum is the grand total. And after we click that, the minimum should be retained at 0. And after we click that, you should have something that is a bit, that looks like a Pareto chart. Okay, but this is too this is too this is too large and too small. So I would prefer the old one, this one. What you need in a Pareto is that you would know which one is okay. Now I know what. Now I remember because the maximum should only be at 100%. So let me change the axis option. Sorry. So there you have it. So the Pareto chart has the line standing on top of the bar, and you have your 80%. You should be able to drop a line right under the 80% mark. I want the 80% mark, right? And then you now have the majority, the what do you call that? The impactful few, and then the rest is the negligible many. Okay, so that's. Let me go back to my slide and your guide to the Excel dashboard. Okay, so give me this 3 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm going to be stealing this 3 minutes from you guys. So to simulate what we have done earlier is that you have to make sure that you do not calculate columns in between the your Excel tables. So as you can see, this is not good because once that you extracted from your source data or someone gives you another another set of data, it will be given to you in the same manner as you have you know as you have processed it earlier. So you would want to stick to the base structure of your data. So any addition, any calculation like the month, the age group, the frame size, and the profit should go on the right side. Okay, so you might as well create a border so that you would know which one is calculated and which one is constant or that comes from a data source. So that once that you get you get additional data, you just paste it, and you are pasting up to this column only. You are not overwriting any formula that you have created. You are not overriding any computed columns. Right? So after that, the pivot will not refresh readily when you add new data in your table. No? You need to go to data and then click refresh all so that the pivot would be refreshed. So in this case, let me remove a few. Okay. Let me add a few data again. Let me simulate what we have done earlier. So I'm going to add a few columns of data, not all. So in your lecture, you are asked to put it beside the date and the year. So yes, it is logically sound, but you would want to separate your data from the presentation. If you need a table like a visual, just create a pivot table, or let's say this one. This is a perfect example since you have a country and a state. So let us recreate this in a manner that it looks like a table. So you paste in your pivot table, and then you go to design, and then you have this report layout. You click this show in tabular show in tabular form, and you will find it that it is already tabular. And under the subtotals, remove all the subtotals, and then under the report layout, you repeat all item labels. So in this case, Germany is repeated all throughout. When you expand this, you now have something that looks like a table. Okay, that can be copied and pasted as values, and then you can perform other analysis against the table. So here's the added data, and we just want to add a few in our MDEC dashboard. So you have the data here. When I paste it, it only reaches up until the border that we have set, and then the other is already computed. So the pivot table that you're seeing, you don't see any 2016, but when you click the refresh data, you will see the 2016 data. And any changes that we have done in the pivot table will be subsequently committed to the charts that you have created against that pivot table. No? So in this case, for visualization purposes only, you have your 2016 data here, and for the trend, you have the 2016 data here. Okay, so I think that's it for my presentation. Uh, you would want to register for the full course at the same at the same uh, link that you have accessed, and the references for the VLOOKUP and the data science analytics are listed in the presentation. I believe Ashley and May is going to send the presentation, hopefully, as your reference. Okay, so that's it for my presentation. May, Ashley,
Great.
please take it from here.
Thank you so much, Argelo, for that presentation. Um, so now we are actually going to be opening our floor into any questions from our participants to that will be answered by our trainer, Argelo. So guys, feel free to send out your questions should you have any for Argelo.
And, Uh, just a side note, the CloudSwyft team is going to send a feedback survey. Please answer it because it means a lot to us that we can improve further our seminars and webinars. Feel free to chip in your comments and points for improvements.
All right. So any questions before we move forward with the rest of the details of our training? All right. So if in case you guys will have any questions or clarifications after the training and after you go through with the whole content of the course, feel free to send it over to us via our email and we'll answer them directly. What's going to happen next is that you will have access to this specific course uh, within the next 5 days. And you will also have access to the hands-on lab within 5 days or within 10 hours, whichever comes first. So now that you have actually started your course, you're actually on your way into earning your digital credentials by completing the rest of the exercises. If you have joined the training earlier, Argelo has actually shown that the whole module or the whole course has 8 modules, but you can only see 4 modules in your current learning portal. So later on, we'll be loading up the rest of the content and additional courses into the same link so that you can explore and complete your learning journey in data analysis and data science. So there will be more courses that will be included into the site within the week. So aside from your certificate of participation in this training, you can actually earn a globally recognized digital badge that you can share in your online platform, as well as a digital certificate which you can attach and to beef up your resume. So this digital certificate and digital badge can be claimable once you have completed the whole course and have completed all your lab activities in your hands-on lab. So to avail of the full course, definitely you can contact support@cloudswift.com and we'll be very happy to assist you. So you will be receiving an email as well containing all of this information after the training in the next few days. So we are definitely looking forward into having you and seeing you enroll in the next courses in data analysis and data science, which will be available in the same link, the next few days. So I know a lot of you are also asking if there are succeeding webinars under CloudSwyft. So definitely there are. So we would be happy to invite you to a series of webinars. We will be holding this coming September 10 and 15. So the registration links are in your screens right now and will be shared as well to you via your email. On September 15, we will be discussing the importance of having Microsoft Azure AI technology skills in bridging the talent demand in different global industries with speaker Vishal Lada, the head of artificial intelligence of Singaporean data and artificial intelligence solution provider Just Analytics. So, and then on September 15, we will be learning from AI Health Australia's experts on implementation and advances in the digital mental health space through Microsoft Azure AI technology and machine learning applications. So Dr. Ben Hadian, the Chief Experience Officer of AI Australia, and Dr. Naim Rasgu is AI Health Head of R&D and leads artificial intelligence scientist at AI Health. So we are definitely looking forward for you guys to join into the two other webinars that we will be having this coming September. So feel free to register now. We are sharing with you the registration link where you can reserve a slot into our webinars. So thank you so much, everyone, for taking part into our training and during this training session, and we hope to see you soon in our next webinars. Feel free to send in any of your questions and any clarifications, should you have any, through our email support at cloudswyft.com, and you will also be receiving emails, a copy of the recording and the presentation in the next few days. So once again, thank you. My name is Ashley, and today we had our Microsoft certified trainer Argelo Royce Bautista. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a nice day.